What's poppin', y'all? Gnarly J in the building, the casual gamer in the building, gnarly 4L in the building, big 4L in the building, a casual reactor back in the building. Yes, sir. Round of applause for him, bro. Round of applause for yourselves. Let's go. We got today Get Out, Try to Warn You. The movie Get Out, Jordan Peele, you already know. When that movie came out, when I seen the trailer, I was like, what the fuck? And this came out, you know what I'm saying? I don't know when, what, a couple years back type shit, right? And I remember watching it. When I watched it, I was like, yo, this is crazy. And it's like, while watching it, like I was understanding, like, okay, he's saying something. You know what I mean? Jordan Peele, that is. There's a lot of shit that I probably missed. There's a lot of probably like Easter eggs and shit, but like the whole like racial type. Come on, bro, you already know what it is. If you don't know what it is, then you're just a lost goat or some, I don't know. Get Out tried to warn you. They did. Let's see what he says, or she.
Get Out is a masterpiece. It is by far one of the most memorable films I've seen in recent years. Of course, there is a racial component to this movie. They were chasing after black people for their bodies, claiming they would make fine vessels for the old, sick, and dying white folks. But did you also get all the deep hidden messages that were literally screaming right in front of your face? There is so much depth to this movie, depth that's worth exploring. Let's take a deep dive and see what you might have missed.
Hey Google,
right.
Turn down studio lights.
Parallel between the deer and Chris, and of course Chris's mother, the suppressed memory of his mother dying after being hit by the car. The buck, of course, is the animal that Chris uses in the end to kill Dean, the patriarch of the Armitage family.
Get Out is a psychological horror film written, directed, and co-produced by Jordan Peele. And Peele loves to hide a couple of Easter eggs in his work.
That's right. That's what we call a little Easter egg.
I knew it would be some fucking
Kubrick
Easter
fans.
eggs.
When you watch this film a couple of times, you can dissect and examine every little hidden message.
The
that
more
could
you
be
watch it, though,
overlooked. And
the
with
better
this
it gets.
film, it has a lot to do with people's fake faces. Sometimes, it's easy to tell why people don't like you. At other times, you have no clue why. The question is, can you trust the people who do like you? Do they accept you with all your flaws and imperfections? Or do they have an ulterior motive for being your friend? Well, this movie uses horror and an eerie plot to explore the themes of race relations in the United States. It focuses on the tension between the black and white communities and how it can all hide well behind a facade of friendliness.
Right.
In Chris's case,
Right, bro. When the motherfucker's too nice to me, I know something's up. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, when somebody's just, like, too nice to me, it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? What do you want? Like, when you trying too hard to be nice, it's like, yeah, you don't even, it's not even you, bro. What? You know, I'm one of the nicest niggas ever. And even I don't act that nice, my nigga. It's like, what are you doing, bro? You trying to play no me, boy? No cap.
is under the disguise of true love. Here are some of the hidden messages in Get Out.
I'm stop pausing. Just because somebody's nice to you, bro, don't mean that they really like you, bro. If you got what they want, they either gonna be too nice to you or they just gonna not like you. It's one of the two.
One of the many reasons why this movie is so satisfying is that Chris actually behaves intelligently throughout the entire film. He doesn't just go into a fit of panic and run like a mindless zombie.
Right. This is not a white
and rational. He tries to brush off the first couple of things so as to not be disrespectful to Rose or get too weird in front of her parents. But when things start going south, he says, "Yeah, I want to go home, babe.
Right.
Can we go?" The first sign is the Sikiliza, the opening song.
See.
It starts to play in the first few minutes of the film.
Oh, is it?
Proceeds to play a couple of times throughout the movie. This song is a literal warning to Chris, telling him to run and save himself.
I think I heard about this.
One instance is during the party scene when Chris is talking about his experience being an African American. The song also plays when Chris looks at the mounted deer head. The voices in the song are the voices we carry, the voices of our community, history books, and our ancestors. They are a haunting reminder of how important it is to stay attuned and awake to the ways of white supremacy and all that is around us. At the beginning of the movie, when Chris and Rose are driving to Rose's parents' house, Chris calls Rod his best friend.
The best
He puts
nigga in the
Rod on
movie.
speakerphone, and Rod says to Rose that she picked the wrong guy, jokingly implying that she should have chosen him as a boyfriend instead of Chris. Later in the movie, we find out that Rose's family is kidnapping black people to place the consciousness and brains of white cult members into the bodies of healthy black individuals. This is to prolong their lifespan. Rose probably knew Rod before she knew Chris, and the reason she picked
I think that's going on in real life.
Chris instead of Rod is that he had a healthy body, excellent eyesight, and skills as a photographer. She was sent to seduce high-value targets that the family
This
could
motherfucker
auction
was
for
crazy.
money. Oh, and by the way, an auction is an allegory for the slave trade. Before the Civil War, slaves were often sold at auctions. An auctioneer stood on a pedestal, and wealthy people assembled to bid on the preferred slave. By preparing to auction Chris off as a vessel to another man,
That's what it felt like. I was like, what the
reveal
fuck?
themselves as those on top of the food chain, slave traders. Rod was lucky he didn't fit the profile. He was wearing glasses, emphasizing poor eyesight, and was slightly overweight. Yes, Rod was just teasing them. It is just part of his personality. But because he was super paranoid about Chris going to Rose's family home, it is clearly obvious that he felt something. Something he couldn't quite explain. On the way to the Armitage's family home, Rose hits a deer. This is a pivotal moment that showcases a number of things. In classic symbolism, the deer is a sign of unwanted visitors being hunted. This is basically how Chris is perceived, as a deer to be hunted. The Armitage family hunts these visitors and keeps them as trophies to show off their dominance. But there is also something else. When the deer is hit, Chris goes immediately to check up on it, hoping that it would have died a quick death and wouldn't have to suffer. We see his eyes fill with pain as he is looking at the mortally wounded creature. Rose shows no empathy, no remorse. She uses excuses like, I was disoriented.
Shorty was eating cereal, right? What was it? Fruit Loops, right? You know what Fruit Loops look like, right? And she had the milk. And she was like just eating the cereal separate from the milk. But you know why though? You know, Fruit Loops are colored, right? And milk is white. That was symbolism. I don't know if they gonna say it. My nigga, she had the colored cereal and the milk separate, bruh. That bitch is crazy.
And continues to lightheartedly accept the advice of the policeman. These are one of the many symptoms of sociopathy that Rose actually displays. Later, when Chris meets the family, we see something interesting. As they are sitting on the back porch, Chris starts knocking on the table. This is a sign that he is very uncomfortable on a deep psychological level, and he is showing that comfort through common gestures. Now, the reason this is different is that he usually turns to cigarettes to deal with this stress. To please her parents, he subconsciously chooses another way to show his discomfort. Here, we also see Missy tapping on the glass with the spoon, which basically means she is marking her territory. The tapping of the spoon creates a focal point for hypnotism to work, even without Chris's permission. On that note,
That's
the silver
crazy.
spoon symbolizes white privilege, being born with a silver spoon. Another interesting thing
I
that
didn't
you
even
probably missed is the subtle use of color to show alliance and conflict between characters. At the start of the film, Rose is wearing lots of blues. Blue is associated with a sense of security while showing professionalism and loyalty. But then we see Rose's color scheme changing. It subtly shifts to red as a way to demonstrate Chris's isolation and vulnerability. This is the first time we see Rose wearing a different color, and she decides to change it when people start attending the party to bid on Chris. When wearing red, she represents the Republican ideology and becomes a danger to Chris, while Chris is still wearing blue, which makes him systematically excluded. Now, let's take a look at the psychology of red. Many of the guests and the Armitages are also wearing some form of red, whether that's a handkerchief, tie, skirt, or shirt.
Hey.
This is the symbol of their secret society. Of course, red has a lot to do with blood, and by wearing it, they show that they don't mind spilling plenty of it to get exactly what they want. Because of its ability to grab people's attention, the color red is often associated with impending danger. Think fire engines, stop signs, sirens, red traffic lights, etc. Here is another thing you probably
Niggas don't even really get red cars because red cars look too loud and they look too fast. That's what I hear. That's why I never wanted a red car. Nigga, fuck that.
missed. Back when Rose was driving Chris to the family home, she was driving a red car.
It's too loud.
This suggests
it
that
was
Rose
red.
was taking Chris straight into danger.
Ooh!
When Rose and Chris sit side by side in the big get-together, we can see that their clothing forms a direct image of
Look,
the
yeah.
American flag.
I was
The couple
thinking
now
that.
represents a visual personification of the racial divide. This says a lot about segregation, and Chris's position as a black person in a white community. If you're enjoying this video so far, please leave a like on it.
Oh yeah, you already know I got you.
It goes a long
Come
way
on, baby.
helping our message
Come on,
get
baby.
pushed to more people.
Yeah, that was
We
fire.
aren't just telling stories.
This fire.
We're changing lives and waking the culture up. Now, let's get back into it. Another important warning in Get Out is the message of mind control, or the sunken state, as the antagonist would call it. With the help of hypnosis and neurosurgery, the Armitage family could move the consciousness of one person into another person's body. The sunken place represents Missy's full control over Chris.
Now
Missy Elliott?
sink into the floor.
Wait.
Sink.
That nigga.
This hypnosis
Woo!
scene has a hidden emotional meaning for Chris. He is pulling some cotton from the chair as he struggles to
seen
deafen
that.
the hypnotic sound of
Fucking
the silver
picking
spoon.
cotton.
This is a clear sign of the struggles of African Americans throughout history.
Damn,
The
that's
cotton
crazy.
economy was what drove a
Jordan
high
Peele
demand for
crazy.
slavery in the deep
He's
South.
amazing.
People were being sold off in droves, creating the second biggest forced migration in America's history. The moment when Missy took over his mind is something we can also compare to today's celebrities. The MK Ultra conspiracy theory suggests that celebrities are under mind control. We can see many examples of celebrities staring into space with blank expressions, showing evidence of a
I do that. I got high anxiety, so sometimes I should be sitting there like, no blinking or nothing. I just be sitting there, and then I just like break out of it. I just be chilling, and I just be like, all right, time to move around. Let's go. But it's just like sometimes I wake up in the morning, and I'm just
glitch in their program.
I don't know what the fuck was
Like
going
with
on
Cardi
here.
B and her unexpected blank staring during the 2018 Grammy red carpet interview.
I think. Look, I'm a conspiracy theorist, baby. But she was just fucking playing, bro. I think she was just playing, bro. Like, motherfuckers do weird shit. She's a weirdo. That's just her personality. Like, she said it. She said it.
Cardi B and her
Something's wrong with her.
unexpected blank staring during the 2018 Grammy red carpet interview.
I feel a little shaky. I don't know what's wrong with me. So either, you know, she's probably on that drank or something, right? She probably chilling, you know what I'm saying, turning up, right? Or she's on some pills or something, right? You know what I'm saying? You never know. I don't know. Somebody slipped her something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? She's turned up right now. And she's doing a little blank stare shit. She's
During a 2017 press conference, Draymond
fucking
Green
dumbass.
also suddenly went blank
She's
and
funny,
stayed that
but
way
no,
for about
she
19
was just being
seconds.
funny. Look, this is me in the morning. This is me in the morning. No cap. I've seen this before. This is just Draymond being Draymond, bruh. Look, I understand. Look, I'm all for thinking outside the box, but let's not sit and act like regular motherfuckers don't sit up and do this. Alright, he was in deep thought. He's probably either thinking of an answer or thinking of an answer that he just gave. He's chilling. This is me in the morning.
But at the end of the day, you know, I have amazing teammates. You know,
Sitting on the side of the bed.
It's a pretty long time to drift off. when you're supposed-
That's what I do. He was in deep thought. Probably high anxiety niggas do that. When you got high anxiety, you just kind of. Like, you still listening, but you just gone. That's what I do. Maybe I'm part of MK Ultra. Fuck.
supposed to give a speech.
No, he's listening to his homie, his teammate talk. And he's thinking of an answer. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, yo, hopefully niggas don't give me no dumb shit.
Sports and music stars are not the only
Draymond is not getting MK'd.
mind control. In 2006, a former astronaut, Hayden Marie Stephanician Piper, took part at a
I
press
don't know.
conference in Houston, Texas, when she planned on revealing a UFO encounter
Alright, now this
she
what I
had in
wanna-
space. But she unexpectedly fainted and was unable to finish her statement.
Whoa.
Because of this, people believe she was hypnotized.
Ah!
After Chris figures out the truth about the Armitage family,
And look, possible. But again, Shorty could have been malnutritioned or something. You know what I'm saying? Shorty probably fainted or something. I don't know. but I ain't never heard about that one. So I don't know. I got looking deeper to that. I don't know. But like just to think niggas, they just hypnotized the damn.
Rose is seen scouting on her
Like
laptop
that?
before her next
From
video.
where?
In this scene, she is eating Fruit Loop cereal and milk. The thing is, they are supposed to be mixed in a bowl and eaten together, except...
Well, here's the thing. They not supposed to. Let's not act like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I be eating dry cereal sometimes. Hey, it is what it is. Hey, you grow up how you grow up. But shorty, I ain't, see, I'm not going to have no dry cereal and the milk on the side, though. That's weird. Like, that's you out of your fucking mind. You're out of your mind.
Showcasing something
You're
sinister.
crazy.
Milk is white, and Fruit Loops come in a bunch of colors.
I seen that from my way. I was like,
symbolizes the segregation era, when people of
that
color
was
were
dope.
expected to use different public amenities than
Right.
white people.
Niggas
While Rose
act
is
like they
eating her
forget
Fruit
about this
Loops,
some.
we see Chris taking Jeremy's car to try and escape. The moment he starts the engine, you can hear a chilling song called Run Rabbit Run playing on the radio. Now, if you remember, in the first scene, when a man kidnaps Andre, this exact song plays in his vehicle. This proves that Jeremy was the one who kidnapped Andre. He is using the song as a way to show dominance.
Oh
to his victim.
shit!
He enjoys the striking contrast of the eerie chord against the blood and gore. But there is more to this song than meets the eye.
So he did it?
Symbolically, the rabbit represents black people being persecuted by the white race. Even on his first night, the Armitages slyly serve Chris a carrot cake. This means that Chris and the other black people they've captured are creatures meant to be consumed.
Yeah, it's fucked. And yeah, that's just wild right here. Like, that's terrifying. These are the grandparents. That's terrifying. Yo, y'all like carrot cake? Carrot cake guy, huh? I low-key like carrot cake. When I was young, I didn't really like it. I was like, carrot cake? That don't even sound like it go together.
There were
But it's
many
fine.
negative racial stereotypes that had an effect on how people viewed African Americans.
Damn, they look
These
like my people.
stereotypes were so engraved in society that they created a huge racial divide. Historically, black people were often compared to rabbits. For example, African American women were thought to feel little pain when giving birth, and bear cutting with nearly as much impunity as dogs and rabbits. Stereotypes such as these were used to rationalize the cruel and inhumane treatment of slaves. It's a shame that many such insane stereotypes still exist today. Even the deaths in the film were not simplistic. Dean Armitage was an evil surgeon and a liar. He disliked deer and stated that when someone has killed this animal, they've done service to mankind. Chris uses a deer statue
I love
to stab
deers.
Dean in the throat while doing surgery. Missy Armitage hypnotizes her patients by looking into their eyes. Chris kills her by stabbing her in the eye in her
Oh,
office. Jeremy
shit.
Armitage is a fan of jiu-jitsu. Chris outsmarts Jeremy with a clever move and crushes his skull. Rose Armitage is an excellent manipulator, sociopath, and good at betrayal. She is killed by her own victim in the form of betrayal. The movie has two endings. In the first one, Chris is saved by Rod. What's worth mentioning is the impact of the police.
Didn't they say they
vehicle as
had
it's creeping
one
in.
where he went to
You
jail?
can see in this scene, Chris just
Like an
gets
alternate
up.
ending?
Isn't it strange that whenever a cop car pulls over a black man covered in blood, you know that his life is over?
Right, I was like, oh
These
shit, it's
fights
fucked.
Don't invoke safety and reassurance. They
Don't-
invoke
show
fear.
don't.
When Rod comes out, this is the first time Chris feels actual relief.
Right.
It would have been great if Chris lit up a cigarette in the end as Rod drove away.
That'd be hilarious.
But just to be clear, we are in no way promoting cigarettes at all.
Nah,
He
weed,
was just
man.
craving
Should've been
them
weed.
The entire time he was in the
Nah, I would've had a
and
joint
never
for you, boy.
actually got the chance to smoke. Of course, they hypnotized him to stop smoking. But if he were to smoke one right now, it would be a symbolic closure that the psychological control the Armitage family had over him was over. This, to me, implies that any living victims might still be under Armitage's mind control, and who knows how many people they've kidnapped over the years.
Man, they
Rod
need to
says
do like
that
a
this
prequel
is
or
being
something.
handled. But can Chris really walk free? Sure, the fire destroyed most of the evidence in the house, but it didn't destroy all of it. For example, the bodies of the groundskeeper, the house cleaner, and the woman in the driveway. These are all substantial pieces of evidence that do survive. Any crime scene investigator will figure out that the groundskeeper died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. The gunshot residue on his hands will prove that he shot Rose, but Chris did try to strangle her, and his fingerprints are all over the murder weapon, Rose's neck, and the car, to say the least. An autopsy report should point out that all the black victims are, in fact, missing persons. Then we have the bidders at the party. When Rose and the Armitage family introduced Chris, they only used his first name. To them, Chris was just valuable stock, rather than a human being. Knowing his background, family, interests, or anything about his life would be meaningless. So the question is, can these elderly white people positively identify a black man if they only knew his first name? So, the FBI has its work cut out for them. The alternate ending is not so hopeful.
Yeah,
Here,
I heard about
Chris
that.
goes to jail, probably for life. Rod is willing to fight for him and get him out, but Chris has no intention of fighting.
I think I
He
seen
only
it, yeah.
implies that he stopped it. When Jordan Peele tested the ending, the audience loved Chris, and they wanted him to win.
Yeah.
Also, filmmakers believed that letting Chris win, they would send out a more powerful message. Hence, why Peele went for a positive ending. But when you take a look at this ending, you can clearly see the actual truth. The
Yeah,
realities for
no,
Black
definitely
Americans
would've happened.
are often not the same as for white
So
people.
you still gotta see this
Fundamental
though.
differences lie in the way Black people are treated, in the misunderstandings.
That shit would have
judgment,
hit
and bias.
hard too
Like how
though.
violence against
But I
Black
think
people is normalized. When we normalize racism and bigotry, we often dismiss the racism people are facing on a daily basis. The alternate ending focuses on exactly that, the brutal reality of what Chris is bound to face given his predicament.
Say they
Since
wanna
Black
show the truth.
Americans are deemed more violent in our current society, you may not be surprised or outraged to see violent or strange things happen to Black people outside of their community. We can see this from the beginning to the very end of the movie, how Chris and Rod can't help but feel vulnerable when being surrounded by white people. The thing is, it's not uncommon to find Black people who've been roughed up by police at least once in their life. If it didn't happen to them, then it has definitely happened to some of their family members or friends. This happens to Black people all the time, and it is the norm. The movie is a great eye-opener. Haven't we all seen people in situations where we want to scream for them to get out, but it is never that easy? They've already fallen into the sunken place,
Too
unable
deep.
to free themselves of the shackles of their own mind. We can observe a situation as an outsider, but when it is happening to us, it is very difficult to see a way out. What are your thoughts on the film? Are there any other hidden messages
Hey.
you want to point out? Share your thoughts in the comments.
This was
The
hard.
video on the screen shares another story that will open your eyes and make you see life differently. I highly suggest you watch it. Click
Oh,
on it
yeah.
now. We'll see you over there.
Appreciate you. Yo, hey, yo. That was hard. When that film came out and I watched it, I was like, yo, that's probably gonna go down as one of my favorite films. Definitely as of like recent films. You know what I'm saying? But it's like all time, it's in my top. It's in my top 50, top 25 all time probably. No cap. That was a super good movie. They're not gonna let them do no more movies like that. Us was dope. Nope was dope too. It was solid. But Get Out is by far going to probably be his best shit. Only because that was his only chance to really do what he wanted to do. His first shit, nigga, I'm doing all this shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, now it's like, he got that out. It's like, I bet, nigga, you can't make no more movies like that, bro. You waking too many niggas up. Like, it's funny because niggas, a lot of motherfuckers didn't even realize what was going on even after watching it. Like, even after watching it, you liked it, but you probably still wasn't understanding what was really being said and what was really going on. That movie is one of those movies that you watch. When you watch it the second time, it's like it's better the second time and the third time type shit. Like the more you watch it, the better it gets type shit. That's just dope. That's one thing I like. You know, whether it's movies or even music, listening to something or watching something, and then watching it again and seeing something that I didn't see before or hearing something I didn't hear before. Super dope. Yeah, bro. Appreciate y'all for watching. If you like videos like this, hit the bell, hit the noti. I upload real sporadic. Alright, so hit that noti bell. Like the video if you like what you saw. Peace, love, and happiness. I got some weed coming, so I'm wait for them to call me. You know what I'm saying? I got some weed getting delivered up in this bitch. 420's coming up. Alright, happy early 420. What's today? The 18th? 17th. Today's the 17th as of this video. 2023, April 17th. It's lit. We got 3 more days. And we finna go crazy. We finna get high as shit. Peace, love, and happiness again. I'm out.